You win this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this will be a piece of cake.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But almost no women get prostate cancer.
Mm-hmm.
When my dad had prostate cancer, my buddy who's an engineer was like, oh no. And I'm like, he's going to be fine. And he is fine. But I'm like, I'm worried because now it means like I'm more likely to get it. And he's like, well, has your mom ever gotten it?
Yeah.
And I was like, you're an engineer.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You don't know anything about how the human body's engineered.
Mm,
I mean, but that's why you're not a biologist, you know?
I'm not a biologist.
Not you, him, them.
And who am I talking, folks? It will be a mystery forever because now we're rolling. And I should say, welcome to the 4 Hours Podcast, internet radio phenomenon hosted by an occasional morning person. It's the most interesting people I know about their sleep, their routine, life, love, stress, and setbacks. If you want to talk to us, you may do so in one of two ways. You could comment on this video if you're watching on YouTube, or you could slide into my DMs. I'm Bobby Sheen, LOL. LOL, because you know I bring the laughter. But for now, we got a first-time guest, a good friend and a hilarious comedian, Jill Weiner. What's going on, Jill?
Hey, Bobby. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, dude. We did it.
We did it.
Comedy gods smiled down upon us
I
and
know.
said they should do a podcast together, and here we are.
And here we are. I mean, it's odd that you would call yourself a comedy god, but
I do in the mirror every day. It's part of my
Yeah.
daily affirmations.
Smart. It's smart.
I'm not doing well. Well, thanks for coming.
I don't think anyone is. Well, no, there are some people that are doing well.
There's like 7 guys.
Yeah.
And they're like,
They're
they're having
crushing
such
it.
a nice time.
Oh, they're just
They're on whatever the new island is. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know, there's a new island now.
that built out of garbage or
Yeah.
like in Dubai or what are we
Could
talking
be.
about?
Dude, I look at pictures of Dubai and I'm like, I would love to have oil money instead of struggling to do comedy every night.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but would you be happy, you think?
I think so.
You think money can buy happiness?
I think in my
Yeah.
dumb brain scenario,
Yeah.
it absolutely could.
But it's just like, I don't know, you just start spending. It's like when you have bottomless amounts of money, you're just always searching for the thing that's going to scratch that itch. That's why they all start like, am I allowed to cuss? No.
Maxim, can we cuss? Maxim says we could cuss.
Okay, that's why they all start fucking kids. I
Mhm.
think is
You cussed. I thought you were gonna say
well because
damn.
it's like they're like it's the most like disgusting. They're like, I
Yeah.
just gotta get that
I have to do
feeling,
something.
right? Because they don't have anything else to chase, so it's just
I'm
Virgin
willing
blood.
to say that there are a few billionaires that don't fuck kids. Like at least a half a dozen.
who, Bobby.
Maxim, can you look up billionaires that don't fuck
Don't look
kids?
that up. Don't look that up. The FBI is going to confiscate
Maxim
your
wouldn't
your-
even look up on incognito mode what the age of consent in Thailand was. So he's really conservative with what he'll Google.
I mean, I think that's a good
Mhm.
strategy,
Yeah.
Maxim. I think you should keep that up.
Mhm. But if you ever change your mind, just let us know so we have the information. Yeah.
Great. Off to a roaring start.
Off
here.
to a roaring
Sorry,
start,
I didn't mean to
dude.
bring up pedophilia right off the bat.
That's the thing. I started to feel guilty, and then I realized that you bring it up.
Yeah,
We were having a nice time.
we were.
We weren't cussing at
Were
all. There's nothing funnier than screaming. We were having.
We were having a nice time.
That's what my mom used to say when I would argue with my dad about politics at the dinner table
Mm.
because I was a teenager and I had figured everything out.
Sure.
Right? And I was making sure everybody knew that I figured it out. It was
Yeah.
like AJ Soprano. And when my mom would feel it like revving up, she would be like, "Can't we just have a nice dinner?"
Yeah, she Rodney King'd you.
She did. She was like, "Can't we all just get along?"
Yeah.
Some of our listeners are too young to know who that is.
Well, look it up.
Mhm.
Anyway,
You're like, we have to steer away from the pedophilia.
I'm a
Anyway,
bit of a Debbie Downer. I've realized that about myself. I think that's one of my toxic traits is I love saying something that's horrible.
Okay. Saying something that's horrible.
No, I don't do horrible things.
Right.
I don't think.
Mm-hmm. And you're knocking on wood that you don't do terrible things.
Yeah, I hope I start.
That-
2025, Brave New World, okay? All bets are off.
I think we, as comedians, have a tendency to say the funniest thing that comes to our brain, which is sometimes
Horrible.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
I met some of my girlfriend's friends for the first time.
Wait a second, you have a girlfriend?
Isn't that crazy, dude? She's listening right now.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
so sorry. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, she puts up with a lot. Dude.
Where'd you guys meet?
We met on the internet, which
Oh,
is how
cool.
I meet everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we did meet on the internet.
We did
Not.
not. That's true. Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't. Yeah.
No.
We met at an open mic, I think.
No, I think we probably met at Fight Club.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
We've met Fight Club. That the first battle I ever did was against Dan Wicks, friend of the show. The first joke I said was the biggest reaction I had ever gotten up to that point.
For comedy.
For comedy. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally for comedy. Like I had been doing mostly open mics and some shitty bar shows where everyone was mad that I was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, the audience just wanted to eat. And then I was like,
yeah. And then you're like, hey, guess
are
what?
you guys fucking? And they're like, please don't talk to us like that. And
Right.
I'm like, where are you from? So I did a great first joke. I was like, this is what I was meant to do.
Do you remember the joke?
It's funny because it was 2017, so I already feel like it's hack to say this. But it was Dan, you look like you get friend zoned by children. Just fine, right?
Maxim laughed.
Maxim laughed. I
mean, it's a roast joke. You know?
It's okay. Yeah, maybe I'm just. Maybe you're right about. Maybe if I was a billionaire, I'd be unhappy because I'm unhappy with even. I just described a good joke, and then I was like, it's not that good.
Well, I think good joke is.
It's a stretch.
But I don't think it's hack.
It's you know what, I would say you're being nice, but you're not being too nice. So I think it might be might be true. So we met at a Fight Club, and so my girlfriend, she said, you're meeting my friends for the first time. They might not. This is her talking. They might not necessarily get bits.
Right. Yeah, that's always
like,
something you have to kind of keep in mind when you're hanging out with people who are not in the comedy world.
It was a nice way of being like, please be on your best behavior.
Right.
And it was.
Yeah. Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
8 months.
Oh.
Yeah, we almost have a baby of a relationship.
That's wonderful.
Isn't that cool?
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I'm a stepdad to a dog.
Oh.
I'm not the stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up. It's half pit bull.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Real hero here, folks.
And
doing the work.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah. I found out that it was a pit bull and I was like nervous, but it's only half pit bull.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Yeah. More assimilated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a joke, obviously. I love all animals. Birds, I like birds, but not as pets. Does that, what I like?
No, the reason I'm making this face is because I have 2 Craigslist roommates and they're nice guys, but one of them has pet birds.
No. Deal breaker. You want something living in a cage?
That is true. I don't know how much fun those birds are having.
I mean, I guess dogs and cats don't have any genitals anymore because of us. Right? Because of evolution. Have you guys not heard this? Have you not done your own research on cats and dogs not having genitals? Anyway, I'm just saying that, it can be argued that your pet cat or dog also lives in a bigger cage of your own, I guess. But birds as pets, I just have never had an emotional connection with a bird, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page. That and lizards.
Yeah. Although I like lizards.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Although lizards and birds, a lot in common. Jurassic Park.
Both dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Nice. And have you seen a crocodile or an alligator before?
I have. I've seen both.
Because you are from Georgia?
I am, but I didn't see them in Georgia.
No.
I've seen alligators in Florida and New Orleans. I think I've seen crocodiles in Florida because Florida, I think, is maybe the only place in the world that has both, or one of the only places that has both. They're big.
They also have a ton of drugs there.
Drugs.
Brennan, our last guest, he was talking about all the different drugs that you could do in Florida.
I mean, I think any drug you want to do is in Florida.
That's where you got to go.
Yeah, it's where you got to go. It's weird. They're so restrictive, like politically, but then you can do whatever you want.
It's like it's a business in the front, party in the back.
Mm-hmm.
They're a human
mullet.
Mullet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the word for mullet. It's
yeah.
really embarrassing.
And that kind of, the state like shape almost kind of resembles a mullet.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, the handle and the.
Some people say it looks like a penis, but I think that's.
Yeah. I'm from Georgia. So, it's like Florida's Georgia's dick.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy.
I know.
Atlanta?
Atlanta, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I know so many funny people from Atlanta.
Oh.
I think there's something about like, you're in the South, right? So that's fun. It's a fun accent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool place to be, now. But
yeah,
Atlanta, that's like the big place.
Yeah, Atlanta's great.
I've referred to it as the New York of the South, but I feel like maybe that's condescending.
I've heard it's the Hollywood of the South because of all the film production there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the New York of the South, sure. Yeah, let's run with that. Except you have to drive everywhere, so that's why it's more like LA, I think, than New York.
Okay, shout out to our LA listeners. By
Yeah,
the
I
way.
hope you guys are okay.
Mhm.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Hey, there she goes again, Debbie Downer over here. Bringing up the fires.
Do you bring up death often?
Yeah,
All the time. I do it.
yeah. People are like, I don't think about it. I'm like, how could you not think? It's like,
It's what's gonna happen.
what's gonna happen at the end? Also, I'm like super impatient, so it's just
Like, come on, let's
come
go.
on, let's just keep doing the steps until we get to the end.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, I do think about death a lot. Are you scared of death?
Not at all. And I am scared of a lot of things. So I'm not trying to be brave.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes there's a train ride that I often take that brings me by a cemetery.
Mhm.
And I look at the cemetery and I actually like calm down. Cause I'm like, at the end, I'm just gonna be laying around. in the
Right.
dirt, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not in
yeah.
a suicidal way, just like all right, there's a finish line and
Right.
then there's nothing I have to do after
Yeah.
that.
I mean, we all end up at the same place at the end of the day. So it's really about making the most of what time you have
Mhm.
here, like this podcast,
Yeah.
you know? And that's great.
I learned that I talk about death too much because my ex brother had very bad death anxiety, and we couldn't.
Your ex-brother?
My ex brother, my ex's brother.
Oh, okay. It was like, it sounds like his anxiety.
Yeah, he's like, you talk
founded.
about death so much
I'm going to kill myself.
that we are going to emancipate our being siblings.
Yeah. Can you do that?
I don't know.
Probably.
I think you're not legally bound by your siblings in any way.
That's true.
Yeah, so you could just
Yeah.
kibosh the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had such bad death anxiety, and you couldn't bring it up in front of him. That I learned from that how much I bring it up.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like one time, there's an expression that I have in my head all the time when someone complains about getting old. I say, beats the alternative, right? It's a very dad thing to say. My dad taught me it, right?
Yeah.
And that's referencing death. So
Yeah.
I just think about death constantly.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of death?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think anything comes afterwards?
You know, I was thinking about this today, actually, shockingly enough. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like, you know, they always say, I don't know if this is true, and I don't know who they is, but they say you don't remember, like you have no concept of what it was before you were alive.
Mhm.
So I assume when you're dead, it's just what it was like before you were born.
Mhm.
But who knows if that is actually its own like existence, a plane or whatever, or if you're like a corporeal being. I don't know. I guess we'll all find out.
Well, unless it's eternal oblivion, then we won't find out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be no knowing. And so that's, again, why you got to treasure these precious moments, Bobby.
Me specifically?
Huh?
Me specifically.
You
I have to-
live in the now, man.
I'm trying.
Yeah, stay
I-
present.
Today I was eating a cookie,
Oh,
and I was like, I love eating cookies.
yeah.
And then, like, as I was eating the cookie, I was like, I should be further along in my career. But then I finished the cookie, and I felt good about that.
Yeah, what kind of cookie?
Uh, it was an oatmeal raisin.
Ugh.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
I like things that I feel like a lot of people don't.
Is that why you like them? Because a lot of people don't? Is that, do you
I'm
think
not
you do
like
it to
other
be like,
boys.
yeah, to be like, I'm different.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. But also, I'll fuck up a peanut butter cookie or
Yeah.
a chocolate chip cookie.
Chocolate chip is really,
But what I'm saying is, like, oatmeal raisin is on the menu equally with those other two cookies.
wow.
Hmm.
Okay. It's the oatmeal I don't mind. It's the raisins.
They're just old grapes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I like new grapes.
Okay.
I don't like I mean, raisins, I don't know. I like a dried cranberry.
Mhm.
At least it's tart. But a raisin, I just don't. It's too much like do you ever have fig Newtons?
Yeah, I love fig Newtons.
Ugh, disgusting.
I have an old man's palate. I'm
You
learning.
really do.
Yeah.
Wake up with your bowl of cream of wheat,
Mhm.
sprinkle some raisins in there, I'm sure. You're just a raisin guy.
I'm a raisin guy.
Yeah.
Raisin. I like black coffee.
I like black coffee, but I add stuff to it. So I like it, but then, you know, I can't, if like there's nothing there, I'll drink black coffee, but
Right.
it's not what I order.
Okay. Yeah. I get sometimes people confuse black coffee with black coffee and sugar, which to me, black coffee means no sugar.
Right.
Sometimes people will just put sugar in my coffee
Huh.
and then I can't drink it enough because I'm like, I'm not better than you. In fact, it's because I'm super susceptible to cavities. I have
Oh, really?
cavities all the
I
time.
have, my teeth are like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
I have horrible teeth.
Huh.
Yeah.
They're white though.
Yeah. Your
Huh.
teeth are white, aren't they?
No, they're kind of yellow.
Oh, yeah. Uh, no, I have bad teeth also, but I think it's genetic. It's not a sugar intake because my mom's from West Virginia. So I feel like that has something to do with it. I
Yeah.
think it's
So give me the Jill Weiner story. Your mom's from West Virginia. Your dad is from
New York.
New York. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you got your East Coast vibe.
Yes. Jewish.
Yeah.
Just
that's
say
what I was
it.
dog whistling.
Now, my dad's Jewish and my mom is a WASP. And I grew up in Atlanta and went to school in Boston College. And then I lived in San Francisco for 10 years. That's where I started comedy. And then I moved here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know Joe Gorman while you were there?
I did.
Yeah, he's a
yeah,
good
I
egg.
love Joe. He's great.
He's an energetic ball of sunshine.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love his positive energy mixed with saying the most horrible things.
Yeah,
he
he's
said.
great.
Yeah. All right, cool. So what made you start comedy?
It's something I always wanted to do. Like I remember being younger and being like, I want to do stand-up comedy. Great story. And then when I was living in San Francisco, I was in business school and I was giving presentations and like doing group projects and people would be like, you're so funny, you should do comedy. And I was like, yeah. And then I went on a date with a guy who took me to an open mic.
That is terrible.
Horrible first date. But I will say he was like, you could do this. And I was like, yeah. And then I was walking my dog and I ran into another guy who was also a dog walker. And he told me a story about how he had just taken a class doing stand-up comedy and all those two things happened within like a week of each other. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I took a class in San Francisco Comedy College. Shout out. What up, Clown College SF?
Hell yeah.
And that's where I started.
I think you're the first and so far only person that I think is funny that was like, I did a comedy class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares? Like in the beginning, it was kind of embarrassing, like in the San Francisco comedy scene being like 1 or 2 years in. Because everybody else started at open mics. So, there's kind of like a look down on you, like, oh, you went to, like, you're just kind of got like shystered by this guy. But it did create an opportunity for, you to feel like you can fail and not be completely humiliated and feel like completely out of your comfort zone. Because it is very intimidating, especially being a woman starting comedy in like a local scene, I think, that's dominated by a bunch of like bros.
When you're like the only woman and you're like, okay, I don't mind hearing dick jokes, but they are a lot in a row.
Yeah, that. And then also just like the judgment, just like they don't like me, everybody hates me, all that.
I did a mental exercise where I pictured the opposite, right? Which has never happened, where I'm at an open mic and I'm the only man. And that does seem terrifying.
Yeah.
Although
I feel like it would be better, obviously.
Okay.
I just feel like women would naturally be more like, okay, way to go, bud.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Then the issue I would have is like the internal stuff of like it's worse for a woman to judge me.
Oh, I see.
But I'm not actually getting like the blank stares that you got starting out. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's how I started comedy. Yeah.
Your first open mic, was it good?
First open mic, was it good? I mean, no. Was yours?
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy.
Sometimes people like figure it out. Usually they're a middle-aged black man and they're just naturally funny.
Yeah.
They could do it once and they're like, that was fun, but I'm going to go back to my family.
Right.
Which that's the coolest guy to be.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you don't want to do comedy, I guess that's the coolest guy to be.
I think not wanting to do comedy and doing really good at an open mic offhand and then like having a really fulfilling career that like pays a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you can figure that out, sure. Yeah. But
me, I'm married to the game.
That's right.
Right. Well, actually, I do comedy just to pay the bills, but my passion is telemarketing.
Is that what you're into? Yeah. Yeah. Just get it like you love a cold call.
I love a cold call.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so annoying. Specifically when I'm calling people.
Really? Just then?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm not supposed. I probably.
You shouldn't.
It's so specific that if I say what it is, you'll know like immediately.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then that's probably not good for business. But yeah, it's just the constant, But I'm good at it because I like am used to rejection,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't hurt my feelings when someone hangs up on me.
Oh, that's good.
And then I go outside and I try to tell people tickets to my comedy show, and then they also say no, and I'm like, the no's don't mean anything, baby.
That's right. It only takes one yes.
Yeah. So step away from that ledge, guys. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So business school. So you wanted to do something else before you got into comedy.
I was working at a bar, restaurant, hotel that I loved very much, and a friend of mine and I were talking about opening our own bar.
Mhm.
And I was kind of just like drifting. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, so I thought I would go to grad school to try to garner some direction. But once I started doing grad school, then I started doing comedy, and then I was like, oh, I want to do comedy. Like, this is it.
Hell
So,
yeah.
And that was 11 years ago. Almost 12.
Almost 12.
Almost 12.
Oh, you're a decade in. That's exciting.
I know.
12 is like in our brains, 3, 12, 40. Those are like important years for some reason.
Just those three?
I mean, I'm thinking about all the Abrahamic religions that are like 3, 12, and 14. Those are the best ones.
Yeah. What about 18? Isn't 18 important?
I think that's only for Jews.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like to, whenever I'm like giving money to some people, even though I'm not Jewish, I like to do the divisible by 18 thing. This is like a little bit because either people are like, I don't know why he gave me such a weird number, or they're like, is he Jewish? And I'm not. Isn't that fun?
What's the bit?
The bit is that like I'll get, like, if I'm giving someone money for like a gift, it'll be divided by 18, right? Because that's the Jewish thing, right? Is that if you give a gift, it should be divided by 18. Because 18 is a special number in Judaism.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that it's a special number, but I don't know why.
Mm.
It might be random.
I'm sure there's a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 18 is like,
Can we Google it?
yes, Maxim, this is different. This is different than the last thing I asked you to Google. Why is 18 important to Jews?
Maybe don't say Jews. Maybe
Jewish-
say in Judaism.
Judaism.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go, why is blank important to Jews on Google, you might find some interesting things. But yeah, I'm interested to hear what the answer is. So 12 years doing comedy. Dude.
12 years.
That's so
yeah.
exciting.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah, I guess.
You've done some.
I mean,
It is. Jill, I'm telling you, it's exciting.
it's exciting. Huh?
In Judaism, 18 is important because in Hebrew, it means life.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's nice. See, that's nice.
That is nice.
That's nice.
Part of me was worried because, like religion back then, sometimes they got real, like, I was wondering if like 18 was like the amount of like tribes we killed or something, but it's like a wholesome one.
Yeah, no, I don't think Jews don't really focus on who they've killed. I don't
Mhm.
as
They're just lucky to give like 18 multiples of things that's like gifts or whatever.
That's kind of difficult because my go-to is like 20 or 25, right? Like I have some little cousins and I was giving them 20.
What about your bit though? I thought that was a big bit that you did.
Well, that's
with
that
18.
that's the thing is like, what's 18 times 2?
36.
Hell yeah, dude.
Human
30
calculator over here, huh?
36 is too much though. Maybe 3.6, but that's not divisible by 18. It's too much to explain if you move the decimal point and then it's divided by 18 and they're like, we asked you not to come this year,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. But what were you saying about 12?
Oh, because 12 years doing comedy. I was just talking about how there's like important numbers. in the
Yeah.
world. There's 3, that's the Trinity. But apparently, like, you know how Jesus is just like one of those virgin gods? There's like a bunch of other ones. And they all died and came back 3 days later.
Huh.
And they all had like 12 friends and they all did something for 40 days. So it's like the weird part of our brain that likes to have like,
That, yeah, after
Patterns.
3 days, fish begins to smell.
is that true?
Well, that's in the Benjamin Franklin's Almanac when he's talking about like how long a guest should stay. 3 days is max because after 3 days, fish begins to smell.
Oh,
And that's like the saying.
I love Benjamin Franklin, dude. Shout out. He's cool. He hung out with France and
Was a nudist.
he was a nudist. He also had this like Tony Soprano vibe where he was like fat and bald, but
Yeah.
all the ladies were like, he's actually great though.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
wanted the turkey to be the national bird instead of the eagle
Why?
because they're delicious, I think.
I
I don't know.
We do eat turkey.
He's a fat guy.
He is, dude. We do eat turkey on Thanksgiving too, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
Although, should we eat our national bird? I mean, we eat Jesus, but yeah, that's interesting. My mom used to talk about. She used to. She's still alive. She still talks about. Her dad would have like all these sayings, and he just like took credit for them.
Yeah.
And then she found out later, like long after he was dead, that it was just like shit from Benjamin Franklin's almanac.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he'd be like, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Wait, your dad is dead?
No, her dad.
Oh.
My grandpa.
Oh, okay.
My dad is alive.
Yeah, because
Missing a prostate, as we talked about.
Yeah,
last
yeah,
week.
yeah. Because I was like, wait, I thought he was. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
No, my parents are alive, which I think is great. I mean, not for too much longer because I could use some help. My dad won't tell me how much money I'm getting because he's afraid that I'll Menendez him.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's a good sign.
they're probably getting out, dude.
The Menendezes?
Have you been following this?
Nah, I tried to watch the Ryan Murphy thing and I
Uh-huh.
kind of fell off.
Okay, I haven't watched it at all. The
Yeah.
bulk of my research has just been reading the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the Wikipedia page
Mhm.
also.
I edited the Wikipedia page without knowing anything about it.
You did. You do that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You can't for some of them though.
really.
Yeah, for like the really intense ones.
Yeah, that makes sense
Yeah.
for the victims.
Mhm. Ever since I tried to edit the Sandy Hook Wikipedia page with my screen name Alex Jones 69, I'm banned.
You're banned from Wikipedia
Yeah.
unless you want to donate. I don't know. Do you think they're gonna get out?
I don't know. I don't know if I want them to. This might get me in trouble, but I think just because your parents are abusive, you can't kill them when you're adults.
I agree, and I think there's plenty of people who grow up with incredibly abusive parents and people in their lives that don't resort to murdering them with a shotgun.
Mhm.
But having said that, I do feel like the incarceration system in this country is a complete nightmare and people get trapped. I mean, not them, they're rich white guys or Cuban.
White passing.
Yeah, yeah. But what was I saying? Oh, I don't know. I feel like you gotta, at some point you do your time. If you're rehabilitated, if you can prove that you can bring something back to society, then why not?
And apparently they're model prisoners.
Yeah.
So they could keep being model prisoners, huh? I'm just joking. I don't actually have all the information.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's the thing is that's why I'm a bad content creator. It's one of many reasons is that
Yeah, you really shoot from the hip here. You don't really have deep dives into stuff.
I don't no, I should I either have to do more deep dives or I have to take an extreme stance.
Okay.
But I can't do that because it feels bad
To take an extreme
just
stance.
take an extreme stance and then
Yeah.
like hashtag do all the hashtags, right?
Oh, I see.
Also, I haven't had the jaw surgery yet,
Mm.
and I think
Do
like
you think John Mulaney had the jaw surgery? I saw somebody say that.
really,
Yeah.
I feel like he's grandfathered into you didn't have to be hot to do comedy yet, though.
I mean, he was always not unhot,
Right, but
but now he's like hot.
is he really hot?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, he got sober.
He got sober.
Right.
He's got that floppy hair, which we love.
Got the floppy hair, which we love.
He's not all coked out and he's not sweaty all the time. So
Mm-hmm.
he's filled out a little bit. He looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've asked him to come on the podcast. But
No, he didn't. Maybe you should reach out to Olivia.
I will. Yeah,
Yeah.
because her and I keep in contact.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So probably. I actually this is cringe, but when I found out he was in rehab, I messaged him on the off chance that he would see it, and I was like, I hope you get better, John.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And then like 2 minutes after I did it, I was like, I'm such a fucking cringy. I'm so cringe, dude. But I could have kept that a secret. And
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with offering a nice sentiment to somebody that you respect.
Oh.
You think that's bad?
Yeah.
I mean, did you do it just so that you hoped you would get a heart and then you'd be like, yeah, I'm in?
No,
Was that your motivation, or was
That-
your motivation really to be like, oh, I hope because I care about you?
it was the latter. I think it would be crazy if I even entertained the thought that he would see the message, especially while he's at rehab.
Yeah, I mean, they don't.
Like he's like shaking and his life's falling apart, and
Yeah.
then he sees,
Sheehan, LOL.
like, oh, this guy has 2,500 followers.
Okay.
Yikes, dude.
Yeah.
Though, to be honest, talking about the hedonic treadmill, I never thought I'd get 2,500 followers. That's a big deal to me.
Hedonic treadmill.
Yeah, it's the idea that actually we kind of opened the podcast talking about it, where
Child fucking.
it's in a way, the idea that like if you get a bunch of money, eventually you'll be like, all right, what next? And
Oh, okay.
it's actually even more depressing that it basically says that your level of happiness, you could debate if it's nature or nurture, but it is like solidified by like the age 5 or 6,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm.
So you could like, they've done a study where they had a control group, of course, and they had people that won the lottery and then people that had a life-changing accident. And the lottery winners, their happiness went up for a little while and then it baselined.
Right.
And then the opposite with the accident people, their happiness went down, but then baselined. So it's not very encouraging because it's like however you feel now is how you're destined to always feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're just always trying to figure out a way to feel better, but it never really catches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how old are you?
34.
Okay, I'm 10 years older than you.
Mm-hmm.
You do the math, America. 44. I'm 44. And
You didn't let America get a chance to do the
well, they can pause it.
Yeah. There's people unpausing it. Yes.
Yeah, nailed it.
Got it right, dude. So
It's not 18. It's much easier to add by 10.
Mhm.
I feel like that's just kind of life, though. You know, you're just kind of coasting through, being like, is this going to make me, like, is pursuing my career, is doing this going to make me feel better? And, you know, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't.
Mhm.
And then you take some pills sometimes and you're like, okay. And then, you know, and then you're like, okay.
Mhm.
So,
What kind of pills?
let's see. I'm on Lexapro, very small dosage.
Mhm.
And then, you know, the occasional whatever.
Ah, okay.
Not like oxys or not like opiates or anything like that. I'm not a pill head. I meant like pot, you know. Like-
Marijuana?
Yeah.
Oh, yikes, dude.
And drinking also. Yeah. And, you know, the occasional mushrooms and, you know, all the stuff.
Yeah.
Molly. But not a ton. Not a ton of
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Mhm.
It can't rain all the time.
Yeah. I heard it like it depletes your dopamine and then you're like sad the next day.
Yeah. Have you never done Molly?
I snorted a pattern. I snorted a powder as a college student, but I never got like a good answer as to what it was.
How did you feel after you snorted it?
I was already drunk, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It was in the level of alcohol intoxication where someone gave me a powder without me having a full understanding of what it was and sniffing it. So if that gives you an idea of like,
So it was probably cocaine.
it might have been cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sober now, right?
Yeah, I have to be because
Yeah.
being a lunatic or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you on any medication?
No, I'm raw dog in life.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gross because you could do all this stuff and still need to be medicated. But what I do is I try to sleep for 9 hours and I try to drink water and I exercise almost every day.
Yeah, that's great.
And it keeps me almost not.
Yeah. I do. I drink a ton of water and I try to exercise like 4 or 5 times a week.
Mhm.
And then sleep is like, I don't know.
You struggle with sleep?
Sleeping is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so hard to fall asleep.
Oh, okay.
Do you not, you just can lights out? You're just out?
Yeah, I'm kind of out. I mean, I'll get like once a month. I'll get this weird. Usually when there's if there's a lot happening, but I do get sleep paralysis. So that's the
Okay.
other end of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Okay,
you feel
good.
better.
Good. I mean, I have sleep demon, like, you know, I have like night terrors.
Night terror.
Not where I'm like screaming, but where I like kind of wake up and I think somebody's in the room. Do you have that?
Okay.
It's always Tommy Chong. I don't know. That's what my like paralysis demon looks like is Tommy Chong.
My first,
Which is odd because he's such a
he's a nice guy.
yeah, he seems like a gentle man.
Mhm. Maybe that's what's so terrifying. You're like, what is it about?
Yeah,
me
what's he
that-
hiding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have trouble falling asleep. Are you a morning person or a
No.
night person? Oh, okay. You're
I'm a
night
night
person.
owl.
Yeah.
Creature of the night.
Oh, creature of the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love the night.
Mhm.
I can't even like getting up. I'm not like I've told my friends not to text me before 11 a.m.
Okay.
Because even if I get a text at like 9, I'm like, what the how dare you? Like, who do you think what could possibly anyway.
9 a.m. Is it an emergency?
Yeah, exactly.
What's
it just
happening?
rage boils inside of me and I don't know how to deal with it.
Mhm.
So if anybody has any tips on how to deal with boiling rage in the AM, please let me know. Because I really don't even feel like myself until at least noon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have my morning routine where I like drink coffee, I write, I
Mhm.
make breakfast, I walk my dog, and then I enter the day, the social day.
The social day.
Yeah.
At noon.
Usually, yeah.
Well, that's great. So okay, so 11 a.m. is that the wake up time? I'm assuming because people can text you after that.
No, I usually, I've been trying to wake, like if I don't set an alarm, I'll probably sleep till like 9:30, 10. But if I set an alarm, I'll get up earlier.
See, okay, I think we are on like opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Because you have trouble falling asleep, but you'll wake up fine.
No.
Okay, if you don't set an alarm, if you don't set an alarm, you wake up before 10.
Well, yeah.
If I don't set an alarm, I will sleep. I've slept like 12, 13 hours before.
Oh no, I'll wake up.
Okay.
Do you not have to pee?
In those situations, I've woken up and really had to pee.
Yeah.
Haven't peed the bed yet.
Not once?
I mean, as a child, but
Okay.
no, as an adult, I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. Hell yeah, look at us, dude. Add that to an accomplishment. That you could knock on wood for. I think eventually, like if you live long enough,
You're
you'll
gonna
pee
piss the bed?
Not you specifically. Like one will pee the bed if they live.
It'll be me.
Yeah. Do you want to live for a long time?
I mean, what's the alternative? Dying right now?
No.
Yeah. Kill me. This is a nightmare.
No.
I'm kidding.
Because I was thinking about this because I have a friend that his grandma lived to be 100.
Wow.
And to me, that feels too old.
I mean, I guess it kind of depends on like where my mind and body are
Uh-huh.
as I get older.
Yeah.
Just being around older people, you feel bad for them because everything just shuts down.
Mhm.
There's no dignity in aging.
Yeah.
Everybody treats you like shit. Nobody wants you around. You're a burden.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna live as long as I can. I think.
Mhm.
I don't have any plans to try to kill myself. So that's good.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I figured. So I thought I'd just snip it in the bud. No plans as of yet, though. Okay. Always leave them guessing.
You haven't set a date yet?
I haven't set a date. No, I'm not going to kill myself.
And if you're thinking about doing it, don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
need you to
trigger
watch.
warning. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Don't do it.
Yeah. Trigger warning for suicide. There's a few things I won't say.
Don't unalive yourself.
Don't unalive. Don't follow the tiny mustache man.
What's that?
Oh, you never heard Tiny Mustache Man?
No.
Because I watch a lot of like history stuff.
Uh-huh.
And for like demonetization purposes, like the algorithm's always listening, or the robots are always listening. There'll be like a very serious video about World War II, and then they will reference the Tiny Mustache Man instead of Adolf Hitler.
Oh. That's not right.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like there'll be like a what's his name? A Ken Burns sounding guy. And
this is on YouTube because the algorithm will flag it.
If it has Hitler in it. Because some people, when they say Hitler in their videos, they're being naughty.
Right.
But
because they like him.
Yeah, I know. It's also why you can't edit his Wikipedia page.
Huh. Makes sense.
He wasn't a vegetarian. I need to correct that. But
He wasn't?
He wasn't. He didn't eat a lot of meat. And also, this is a weird thing about the Nazis. A lot of weird things about the Nazis.
The one thing.
But they were, with what wasn't weird in that it was inconsistent is that they were like kind of like pro-animal. Like
Hitler was a big animal lover.
They wanted to be like nice to animals, but not nice to most people.
But not the Jew rats.
Yeah, I know. Yikes.
You have to edit that out. Sorry.
The gleenness with which you laughed after you said that. That's the part we're going to have to edit out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'll keep it clean. Listen.
No more cussing.
No more ironic anti-Semitism. They loved animals, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's kind of like how conservationists or like, hunters love animals. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, because what are we going to hunt?
Or like very like left wing, who cares if humans die? We got to make sure the earth doesn't explode.
Right.
And I'm like, my favorite part of the earth is the humans. Personally.
Really?
I think so.
Huh.
Like, I think if we could find a way to another planet, we should work on that because even if we do everything right, eventually like a giant asteroid is going to hit us again,
I mean, not us.
Yeah, our children or our grandchildren.
Well,
not for us.
Not us.
We're busy chasing our dreams, dude.
I'm sorry. It's COVID again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I also have COVID. I figured it would be rude to cancel.
Just kidding.
this
It's
later.
I'm just getting over I have a little cold, but it's not contagious. I don't have a fever or anything like that. I know now, because now you used to just be able to go out in the world, but not anymore. You got to be like, I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
I just have the sniffles.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know I look to be no compromise, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Preemie.
Yeah. Did you know that about me? Or did you just guess?
I think I just guessed.
I do have like I look strange enough that something happened. You know what I mean?
But you don't look like that weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got a big forehead though.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It seems pretty in proportion to the rest of your face,
Which is
which is weird.
was strange.
Yeah.
So do you want to guess how early I was born?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess you were born a month and a half early.
Oh, so close. 2 months.
Oh, that was gonna be that's what my gut told me to do, and I was like, that's too
And then
early.
you had to.
Yeah.
Too much. Yeah. It was like a situation, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But now I'm alive and my
Well,
mom's alive.
Oh, that's great. Do you have any residual health problems that you care to share on this podcast?
My mom told me when I was little, I don't know if this is related, but I was terrified of the vacuum in a way that was unusual even for a toddler. Like she couldn't vacuum because I think like,
Oh wow. Do you think because did they do like a C-section?
yeah.
So maybe when they were sucking stuff out, maybe something happened. You know what I mean?
I was like, I'm not getting sucked into another place.
You're like, no way.
I was so comfy in that womb, and then
yeah,
you
and then
brought
you
me
poop
here.
in this vacuum place.
Yeah.
All the tubes and stuff, and probably a lot of, you know?
Yikes.
Yeah. So just
I thought I blocked it out, but you doing those noises, like it's almost like I'm there. I'm in Paterson, New Jersey in 1990 again.
wow, so young.
You know what was weird? I was telling a lady at the pharmacy my birthday,
Uh-huh.
and I said August 30th, 1990, and she looked at me like, she's like shaking her head like, go on, and I'm like, 1990.
Yeah.
And she's like,
The year.
yeah, I'm
1990,
like,
not
full stop.
and zero.
I literally like this was so maybe she just was tired. I literally had to go 1990, and she was like, "Oh, okay, thank you."
Yeah. Well, she just didn't,
Mhm.
she's probably taking birthdays all day. You
Yeah.
hear, 1996, 97, 93.
And I don't seem like a Virgo to her, so that threw
Right.
her off too.
Yeah.
What is your sign, Jill?
I'm a Sagittarius.
I wish I knew how to do something with this.
Yeah. Thank you for
What a
asking.
terrible.
You're a great interviewer. Really good. Strong question.
It's like me and another interviewer. I almost said Matt Lauer, but he got in trouble, so I was trying to
Yeah,
think
he
of
got me
another one.
too'd.
Yeah.
Who's a great interviewer? I mean, Mark Maron, I would say, is a good interviewer. I think.
Yeah, he's good. I do sometimes skip the first 20 minutes so that I don't have to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
But I love when he like asks
Yeah.
people questions.
I feel like there was another person I'm thinking of that's a very good interviewer, but the name escapes me.
No. I mean, nowadays, if you're an interviewer, it's almost required that you espouse Russian disinformation, which I'm not willing to do yet. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
No one. I mean, if I get a
Pivot.
Spotify deal, I might do it.
Yeah.
Right? If I get the leader of Spotify and
Who
Vladimir,
owns Spotify?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a.
You know what he's up to? Fucking kids.
Have you seen all the Mark Zuckerberg memes lately?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was like reading the memes before I found out the news.
Yeah.
And
So
I
you're
was
like,
very-
wow, what's happening?
Yeah. But I was like, all right, I don't think he's actually a pedophile because I don't think people would be this cavalier about it
Yeah.
if he
This
was.
is the fact checking.
I would
Fact check this.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
So, do you understand fact checking versus community notes? I don't understand it because he's like we're replacing fact checking with community notes.
I don't know
was
what
like, does that
community
mean?
notes are.
Yeah, is it like the same but different?
Again, I don't know what do you mean community notes?
Because I watched the video with Mark Zuckerberg and I don't look like him at all. By the way, stop saying that. But
People say that?
People say that. Isn't that mean?
Huh.
Yeah, it's not a compliment.
Well,
If they were like your bank account looks like Mark Zuckerberg's bank account, that'd be.
I mean, you're both pale, I think, is really the.
We're pale. I think there's something about our face that's very similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the video, he was like, we're no longer doing fact checking. We're replacing it with community notes. So I think it sounds like it might be the same thing. You know, like remember when he was like, we're not Facebook anymore, we're Meta. And then we were all like, how's it different? And he's like, it is, I could assure you that much. So I think this might be the same thing.
I guess only time will tell.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think right-wing people use Facebook more. So he was like kind of thinking about that.
Probably.
He's like, how do I not upset people that like Facebook?
Yeah.
But also left-wing people like Instagram more.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I actually don't know. I haven't seen the numbers.
So we talked about emancipating your siblings, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a brother and a sister.
Are you the middle?
I'm the youngest.
Oh, you're the youngest.
The baby.
Oh my God. Is that cool or is that the opposite of cool?
It's fine.
Mhm.
I mean, I haven't known anything else, so
Right.
I don't really have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they in show business?
My brother is a voiceover actor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Have you seen the Cologuard ads with the box that you shit in instead of going to get a colonoscopy?
That's him?
He's the box. My brother is the box on Cologuard, folks. Huge.
That is huge.
It's huge.
My career ambition, I think, is that I want to be in a show where I am like a minor character that has a catchphrase. And then therefore people come to see me. Like I actually sell tickets, right?
Right.
Like more than a dozen at a time. Right. And then people yell the catchphrase at me and I actually can't get through my act, but I still get their money.
Yeah.
I'd be so happy.
That's all you want? You don't actually want to do comedy?
I think I do want to do comedy, but I want to not have a day job more than I want to be like true to myself as an artist. So if I have to do something like that, again, I'm doing the jaw implant. And I'm thinking
When
about
are you getting the jaw implant?
I'm talking to a few people now. If I could get someone to do it for $1,200.
Ooh, that seems low.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's what
I don't know if surgery is something you want to, especially like facial reconstruction. I don't know if that's something you want to. You're gonna end up looking like Matt Gaetz.
Oh, dude, I know this is like,
His face is getting smaller, but
it's,
his head is getting bigger.
and I don't know if it's
weird.
if it's like a bias that I have because I know that he's a certified lover boy, certified pedophile, allegedly, but he looks like one. Like the more I see him, he looks like one. And I was like, is this just like left-wing media picking like the worst pictures? No, I'll just like go on Google Images.
Yeah.
And just look at Matt Gaetz. You know, it was a strange way to spend my time, but he does look like a weird guy.
Yeah.
So we got to do something about guy that I think is no longer in government.
No, he's not.
So what would we do
But
about
I think he's going to be an advisor in the Trump administration. I'm sure
Dude.
he'll be. He'll get his money,
Yeah.
whatever. Just the villains of what is it? You know what I mean?
I had the worst thought when Trump won again, which is it's selfish. I was like, oh, comedy is going to be like a little less fun,
Yeah, it's true.
which is not
It's
the most
true.
important thing, but it's what I thought of.
No, I think that's very true. And I think that speaks to is it going to be less fun because people are going to be talking about Trump all the time, which sucks.
Mhm.
And then also on the other side of that, is it going to become a thing where you have to worry about being critical of the government
Mhm.
because of, what may happen?
Yeah.
So are you not allowed to actually speak freely anymore?
Yeah.
Which is scary. And maybe I'm being overreactive, but I
Mhm.
don't think so.
No, I'm a simp for free speech, 100%. Yeah.
I am a fan. A simp, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're trying to connect with your audience. Okay.
I love saying simp for just things that I like.
Oh, okay.
It's funny to me
I see.
because the
You
idea
like to belittle yourself.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I deserve it.
Oh,
You know
why
what
do
I
you
mean?
think you deserve it, Bobby?
I don't know. I feel actually okay. I did have a moment. I was a guest on a podcast and I got serious for a second about
Yeah.
alcoholism.
Uh-huh.
And then as I was saying something that I think is important to me. And as I was saying it, I felt like I was being like a sanctimonious douchebag,
Hmm.
So I immediately like reversed course,
Huh.
I don't
I
know.
wonder why you have such a pushback against being your authentic self.
I don't know if it's so much being my authentic self.
Because you had the same feeling when you sent that nice message to John Mulaney.
That's true.
Yeah. So what's going on?
I guess I don't.
Something about being earnest. You don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Or I could do it in like little chunks.
Right.
Maybe because it's like an intense emotion. Is it an emotion to be earnest? I guess.
Well, it's being vulnerable, I think.
Yeah. And I don't mind being vulnerable if it's self-deprecating, but
Right.
if I'm
You
like,
got a shield on.
yeah, but I was talking about sobriety and I'm like, the thing I was talking about, and I'm going to feel the same way now as I say it, is like, if your identity is I'm a guy that drinks a lot, that's a bullshit identity and you should stop it because it's going to kill you, which I think is an important thing to say.
Yeah.
But as I was saying it, I was like, I'm not a doctor.
But you're an alcoholic, so you can say that.
Yeah.
and you have experience.
Mhm.
And we all know a person who's like, especially if you're in your 20s, that's like, we're getting loaded. And it's like, all right.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you're like, okay, like we got to find something else to do here, but
Yeah.
because this is not working out.
Mhm. Are you a big alcohol person?
I enjoy drinking, yes. I definitely have slowed down quite a bit as I've gotten older. And every once in a while, you'll ask the taxi cab to pull over so you can barf on the sidewalk. Listen, it happens.
Does
It
happen.
was a rough year for old Jill Weiner. I mean, not really.
Okay.
For everybody, I guess. I'm not going to talk about that, but I do enjoy drinking. I do. But I don't think I've ever had like a real problem.
Yeah.
Like I don't crave it. I don't wake up in the morning thinking about when I'm going to drink. I do like I'm going to meet a friend after this for like drinks, and I'm looking forward to that. But I'm not like, oh, I can't wait.
Do you have a vice?
Yeah. I mean, I think I have many vices. TV is a big one for me. I just rot in front of the television.
Cable?
Anything.
Oh, okay.
Bad shows. I love a bad show. Movies I love. But I just like where you watch it where you're not even where you're not even enjoying it. You're just kind of like, yeah.
Okay.
Say another one. Does that make sense? Is that a vice?
It might be if you're like, I'm not getting anything out. Are you scrolling while you're watching?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a lot of that. I don't know. What about you?
The alcohol is the big one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most dangerous one.
Yeah.
Anything else is like, I do like to eat cookies every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, food. Okay. Food is,
I love food.
Food's the best.
I wish I could eat as much of it as I could when I was an adolescent.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I had then.
I know. Nobody does. That's the point, though, I guess. You live and you learn.
A pound of veal.
Ew.
That's the appropriate response.
That's disgusting.
Because to me, like,
for some reason, I just imagined you like for some reason it's raw. It's like Rosemary's Baby or something. And you're just going to town on a pound of veal. He likes them young. I don't. Yeah. Ew. I've never had veal.
It's good.
Yeah.
There's a reason why people do terrible things to make it.
I just like, do we have to eat their babies? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Although I haven't eaten it recently, I would. If
you hear that, huh?
Baby cows.
Look out,
You're on
calves.
notice. I actually have been thinking about my last meal though. So
like in prison?
So you're from Georgia, right?
Yes.
They're still doing that, right?
The death penalty?
Yeah. So say you get falsely accused.
Okay.
Of a
very likely
of a murder. Oh, okay.
No, obviously, look at me. Of course, that's not very likely.
Because she seems so nice, is what she's saying.
Because I'm white.
And because she's white.
Duh. I'm a woman. Duh. I'm a white woman.
Yeah, white women get accused of crimes so rarely that when they do, it's national news.
Yeah, but white women get accused of a lot of just being assholes in general, which fair enough. Sometimes everybody's an asshole.
I have this theory that sometimes white men comedians will have like white woman things, and it's just they just want to go after the ladies.
You think?
Yeah, I
Bobby.
Think so.
Do you think that's misogyny?
Yeah.
I mean,
how I feel
it be?
How I feel about it is
not.
Is not. Listen, I figured something out, and I think
You're
Jill's
using one little representative portion to shit on an entire group of people, huh?
And see, Jill didn't realize this until I brought it up. So
that's true.
You're welcome.
You really mansplained it to me. Thank you.
So,
what was the question? Last meal.
Yeah. I don't know why I gave you this backstory. I could have just said, "What would your last meal be?" But
yeah, but I like that I've been wrongly accused. What was the crime I was wrongly accused?
Well, I guess it would either have to be
murder, probably,
or treason.
Ooh, I would go for that.
Some treason.
Let's do treason.
Maybe because you sold secrets to Georgia, but you got confused because you thought it was your home state. And
what, you think I'm fucking stupid?
Maybe for this bit. Maybe just for. Okay, what kind of treason?
Okay, what kind of treason would I do? I mean, I'd obviously Trump. Duh.
Jill Weiner is a comedian doesn't necessarily mean anything she said. So, okay, you're in prison.
You're gonna have to cut that out. You're not gonna be able to air any of this. No, what I would have for my last meal, I mean, it would have to be, how many courses are we talking, first of all?
That is a fantastic question.
Thank you.
I was going to say, was gonna say entree and dessert. But
Okay.
fuck it. Let's do apps as well. You're doing
Okay.
an app, an entree, and a dessert.
Okay, for app, I think I would have some burrata.
What
A
is
burrata appetizer.
What
It's
is-
like a mozzarella di bufala. It's like mozzarella, but it's like fancier. It's like creamier and
Okay.
delicious on some like toasted bread with like maybe some like olive tapenade and some like, you know, balsamic tomatoes and basil.
Uh-huh.
For my appetizer. For my entree, I would have vegetable pho soup from Clement Pho on Clement Street in San Francisco with beef broth and a Vietnamese iced coffee. And then for my dessert, I would have, oh my God, what was that thing I had? I had this panna cotta at this restaurant on the Upper West Side. I mean, I know it's Italian, Vietnamese, Italian, but that's what we're doing. Okay, it's my last meal. Give him something to clean up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And the soup is healthy,
Uh-huh.
so that's good. Yeah, this panna cotta. I mean, it was heaven. I don't even remember what it was like. God, it was so good. It's just, have you had panna cotta before?
I have no idea what this is.
Ugh,
I think
it's like a custard, but it's firmer. But it's like it's so sensuous. It's just blah, blah, blah. It just like melts in your mouth. The texture is undeniably delicious. So that's what I would have.
a panna cotta.
Panna cotta for dessert.
It's so funny. Everything you said, I was like, I don't know what this is. And I didn't know what to like stop you.
Oh.
Go, what is this?
Yeah.
Because it was too many things in a row.
Right.
But I
Cheese
Ch-
first,
Che-
soup second,
more cheese.
custard third
Mhm. Hell yeah.
with
dude.
fresh fruit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you would do no veggies though.
No, the vegetable pho.
Okay, so you're getting like all your vitamins in your last meal.
No meat, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Huh.
You're not
Meat.
a
I'm evolved, except for the beef broth.
yeah, but that's
Yeah. Bones.
and somebody had already done something with the beef, so it's like you're just wasting the broth if you throw it away.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's okay.
What's
I like
yours?
that. I've been thinking maybe okay, first of all, I don't have to worry about caffeine, right? Because I'm not going to sleep after.
Well, you are.
I am.
For a mighty long time.
Yeah, but there's not enough caffeine in the world to keep that from happening,
That's
right?
true.
So I'm going to do a Diet Coke and a black coffee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, together. And I'm getting skirt steak
Mm,
and macaroni and cheese.
okay.
And applesauce.
Yeah.
And
Applesauce.
isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I don't. You know what's weird
The
is
raisins again.
Yeah.
It's another raisin, another shade of raisin. Applesauce on anything like a latke or anything like that, or just applesauce?
Oh, I fuck around with a latke, or as I call them, potato pancakes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And what else? That's the entree, I think. Oh, asparagus with olive oil and garlic powder.
That's the appetizer.
No, I didn't do an appetizer. Okay, thank you. The appetizer is going to be dinner rolls from Texas Roadhouse.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the dessert, God bless me, I think it's going to be apple pie and vanilla ice cream on top
Mhm.
with Reese's peanut butter cups on the vanilla ice cream. And you put some hot fudge and some whipped cream on top of that.
Nice. And a cherry.
For aesthetic purposes.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to
Just
cherry.
say something to set it off
Mhm.
visually.
Do you know they don't do last meals in Texas anymore because one guy ordered a bunch of food and then said, I'm not hungry?
Good for him.
Isn't that rude? I mean, he fucked over. I mean,
Please, fuck you, Texas. What, they couldn't give it to the other people in the prison to eat?
that is
Give me,
true.
come on. Like, it's so hard to get rid of food.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
If they gave it to all the other prisoners, then that would establish.
Or what about the people who were there watching the execution?
Mhm. You know, they can't get a doctor or a nurse to administer the lethal injection because it goes against
The Hippocratic Oath, yeah.
Mhm.
So what do they get? Guy in a hood.
I would insist on doing that. They're like, there's no cameras, no one's gonna know who you are. I'm
Put the hood on.
But it's so different. Like if you're a guy in a hood and you pull a leather, it's
Yeah.
so different than putting on a hood and being like, all right, where's the vein? Where is it?
Yeah, I guess what Texas story, where else do you know? I mean, you seem pretty up on your death penalty info.
Yeah,
How many states have outlawed the death penalty?
I think it's and I'm not saying this for a bit. you guys, but I think it's literally all the former Confederate states.
Oh.
I think that's the best way to think about who
Yeah.
does do it and who doesn't. It is funny when you look at an electoral map from like hundreds of years ago and also now it's like basically the same.
Yeah.
Except for the Midwest is more right-wing than they used to be.
Right.
Because the Midwest used to be like conservative in the sense that they were like, they're on the frontier.
Right.
Right. But they're also like, we think slaves are bad.
Right.
Right. And now everybody thinks slaves are bad. I think so. It depends on what your definition is. Like if
I mean, I feel like there's some pretty racist people in the world. So
you think so, dude.
Where have you been, Bob? Have you not?
The let's bring slavery back.
Well, I don't know if they're actually saying let's bring slavery back.
What a bad remix to that Justin Timberlake song, huh?
I don't know it.
Bringing sexy back.
Oh yes. Okay.
Just joking.
It was funny. No, but I feel like there's certain. I mean, white supremacy is based on like people who aren't white not being human.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. What a
And
funny
being
thing
property.
to bring up with 2 minutes left.
I mean, it's great. I'm glad we're ending up. Please don't make me seem like I am not smart.
No, I won't. I would never do that to you.
I know.
It's
I would do it
impossible to
myself.
do.
Oh,
For,
stop.
For me, it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm kidding. By the way, you can do whatever.
I think the worst thing about my pursuit of comedy, other than the fact that I don't have that jaw implant yet, is that I do sometimes stutter.
Really? I've never heard you stutter.
It's awful, and it will usually be. It's never during the setup. It's always during the punchline. It's not quite a stutter. It's more of like I like slur my words a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know how Tony Soprano kind of can't say his S's?
Yeah.
That happens to me sometimes.
That's okay.
I don't know what to do about
Why
it.
do you think you need a jaw implant? Have you been getting? Have people been being like, "What's up with this non-angled face?" I see. Have you been getting a lot of negative comments about your
Not,
face?
oh, yeah, but not about my jaw specifically.
Is it just something you've always felt insecure about?
I'm kind of doing one of my little bits right now.
No, you're not. You've brought it up 7 times.
No, but that's just to make me more bookable. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I feel like, I think I'm an okay
just
joke.
Right joke.
I'm really trying.
Yeah.
But when you see a handsome man do a street joke on his first Netflix special, you're like, maybe I do have to think about something else. You know what I mean?
I guess.
No, jaw specifically, who knows?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I don't know, Jill, but what I do know is that we're wrapping up the podcast. So
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at on Instagram at Jill_lives. Also that Jill Weiner, I think, or maybe it's at Jill Lives on YouTube also. And my website, jilllives.com.
Hell yeah. Jill lives, guys, and she's here, and she's long live Jill Weiner,
Oh,
honestly.
thank you, Bobby.
And remember, folks, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm just playing night owls. You know I love you.